Hey guys, welcome to the stream. View Sports Talk starts in about 4 minutes. We got all the usual suspects in the house. So if you guys are here, please drop a like on the video and let us know you're here in the comments.
Smash that like button.
So do you guys you guys obviously here in New York? Obviously, I'm in New York, so today was like a show with Javi Baez what he did last night.
Yeah, that was crazy. The Mets condemned that stuff, eh?
So kind of, sort of. I mean, not Wilpon. Steve Cohen kind of said that he shouldn't be doing that, but he kind of didn't reprimand him. He was like, I mean, he kind of didn't. I don't know. It was weird.
Well, I'm glad that Javi can give a thumbs down with that horrible swing he took about a week ago. And
well, the ball
way
was 20
too
feet
early
from the plate.
He looked like me in the video game, swinging early. But yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
It's New York. It's Mets. There's gonna be drama.
of course. It wouldn't be drama if it was the Mets. They always find a way.
Always.
The Mets being the Mets.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of funny though. I did see that this morning.
Like the newspaper was like, the Daily News was like, they had a big logo on the back. Like, I don't even know what it said, but it was just like, it was like a big deal.
Well, I think there's certain cities you might not want to do that kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
New York, I think, would certainly classify as one of those cities.
Yeah.
It's not going to be missed.
No, not at all. That's for sure.
Yeah. But as a Phillies fan, I don't mind seeing them collapse. It's okay. They can.
As a Yankee
built up a
fan,
tolerance for it.
I love seeing it as a Yankee fan because they at the beginning of the season they were talking as if they were going to win a World Series, a
They
championship.
do every year, preseason World Series champs. And then the season rolls around, they get quiet.
I mean, I have close friends that some of them are Met fans, and when they were winning some games early on and the Yankees were struggling, they would just every night they were, how about them Yankees? How about them Yankees? I'm gonna relax. We're in April.
First half champions, second half losers.
Right?
That's a long season, man.
For sure.
Long, ups and downs.
We're in the dog days of August right now.
Yeah.
August is pretty much over.
Just a little over a month ago now. And, it's right there.
Was the season always stretching into the end of September, early October? No, right? I feel like this is long.
It just depends on when it starts.
Baseball?
Yeah, it's usually about this length.
Mid to late September.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they complain a lot about how cold it gets in October.
Yep.
I mean, the last few years,
Going into
even
November.
before COVID, the World Series was scheduled to be played in November.
In November, yeah. Like
That's
some games at least.
Yeah.
That's way too long. That's way too deep into. That's the winter, man. I mean, it's not technically the winter, but
yeah, but it's gonna happen where like one day Minnesota or one of those teams are gonna be in the World Series and it's gonna be like 30 degrees.
I don't think we'll ever have to worry about Minnesota being there. But
but that's what it's like in their April.
Yeah, right? Exactly. The Colorado, it's snowing in May.
There's no good time of the year to ever play baseball or be in Minnesota.
You just want to oust Minnesota.
Yeah, you hate Minnesota, man.
Like they gave you your
that
life.
rivalry.
It's a conduit for Canadians, is what it is.
It's like the gateway.
It's the only thing. It's the only thing buffering me from Canada. So.
All right, so maybe we should post this up and get folks in here, right? And Leon, check your messages, man. It was more. It was 5 hats.
Oh, so I guess there's 4 new. I guess there's 4 new ones.
Yeah, so it's 5 total.
All right. Plus 45 to him.
All right. Guess we're almost ready to get started here. Get this link going, get some folks in here, and we'll officially start.
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. I love Monday nights. Get to hang out with some friends.
Right.
Yeah.
It's always fun. Let's see here. Let's get this going.
Jason, AEW coming up.
It is. I will be there.
That's
What
right.
is that? What's going on?
Just a
AEW
little
All Out.
wrestling talk.
Wrestling.
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 Oh God.
Do you want me to pick you up any merch, Kyle?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind a new CM Punk shirt.
All right. Apparently they can't keep up.
I could imagine it's probably like
Yeah.
flying off the shelves, off the websites.
Wow.
Isn't Sting over there right now?
Sting, yep.
Yep. Chris
crazy.
Jericho. Got some more guys from the WCW.
So
Yeah.
old, man. It's geriatric.
Yeah.
You don't even need the white makeup no more. Just show up with his face.
All right, you guys ready to get started here or what?
Let's
Yep.
do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Hey guys, welcome to the Vault. This is an episode of You Sports Talk where we kind of go through this week's happenings in sports. You have myself, Leon, Jason, and Pierre here, and our usual panelists, Kyle and Neil, are back with us. So Pierre, take it away.
I mean, I'm excited. I love Monday nights. I mean, we're gonna have to move this when Monday Night Football starts, but for now, it's working. But I do love it. I think we had a great chat last week around Malice in the Palace, and sticking to that same sort of vein, we're gonna have one major topic, but two quick topics to kind of start us off. So, I guess we'll start with everybody's favorite choker, Tony Romo. So. So it was out there that Jerry Jones stated emphatically that Tony Romo was a first ballot, no doubt, Hall of Famer. I don't know if he was watching the same shit I've been watching over the past decade plus, but I will say he's a fantastic football announcer, like fantastic analyst. Like the guy is gifted at that, and that's underestimated to talk like that and to kind of break something down. And he didn't have much of a runway there. It was just like he was put in that booth and he did a fantastic job. So if we were talking about that, yeah, I mean, this guy's is going to be a legend, I think, in the booth. I truly believe that, but he wasn't that on the field. So I'd love to hear, in my opinion, but I'd love to hear your take on it, everybody. So, Kyle, I know you were super excited to talk about this. So why don't we start there? Is he even like, let's take out the equation first ballot, no doubter, because we all know that's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
But is he a Hall of Famer?
He's not even a Hall of Famer. I mean, this is Jerry Jones once again. Listen, if Jerry Jones is your owner, he's going to have your back 100%. No doubt about it. He's going to hype you up. He's going to make you feel like you're the best player in the world. But at the same time, he's not a Hall of Famer. Tony Romo was an average quarterback, maybe a little bit above average.
Mm-hmm.
Never really competed for a championship. Had a couple of good Dallas teams the year, the time he was there in Dallas. I mean, he's just not a Hall of Famer. He's not. It's just my opinion. He's not a Hall of Famer.
Anyone going to argue that point? Or do you just want to pile on how shitty he is?
No argument for me.
I mean, one of the most ridiculous stats we ever hear when it comes to talking about quarterbacks and the Hall of Fame is how many championships they won.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I personally hate that argument because football is a team sport played by 22 different players. The quarterback has most influence over those players, but he can't influence the game 100%. But anyway, that argument always comes up. That's why Eli Manning is going to be a Hall of Famer. Tony Romo has how many championships?
Zero.
Oh, okay. How many Super Bowls did he make it to?
Zero.
Okay. How many times did he get out of the first round of the playoffs? Twice,
probably.
Yeah. So I mean, just looking at that alone, he was the top 10 quarterback maybe 3 years in his entire career. When you look at numbers, he was an All-Pro just once. The numbers just aren't there.
How do you go ahead, Neil? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I mean, to me, it's all about the eye test. You can talk about quarterbacks that never won a Super Bowl, like Dan Marino, Jim Kelly.
Oh
Warner.
yeah, they're much
They're
different.
Hall of Famers.
Oh yeah, and
Tony
deservedly
Romo?
so. Deservedly so.
Tony Romo had a few good regular seasons. Tony Romo is not a Hall of Famer. I'm an Eagles fan. I've watched him. And he had some run in the regular season. He got them some good records. But when the lights turned on at the biggest moments, Tony failed. They lost as a number 1 seed to the New York Giants at home to go to the NFC title game.
Yeah.
Tony never got to an NFC title game. Tony, he was, to me, just a hollow stat guy. It's not his look. He got hurt a bunch of times.
Right, but he wasn't cheated out of a Super Bowl. Like, listen, it's not like this. It's not like, it's not
that thing. He didn't help himself. Tony Romo to me is one of the more overrated quarterbacks as far as just because if you put Tony Romo on the Minnesota Vikings, if you put Tony Romo on the Detroit Lions, on the Rams, on any other team, the Jets, he doesn't get mentioned because he's a Cowboy and they always overhype everyone in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
He has
look at Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta ask because it's clear that we all kind of agree here. I think Leon's in agreement too, I would imagine, right, Leon?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I mean, he's a victim of expectation. I think, like, right now, he was an undrafted quarterback. He does own the 5th ever highest passer rating, but I think that has to do more with them playing from behind all the time and them having to air out the ball. Led the league in sacks twice. That's not good, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer when you compare him to his peers, right? Like, he's played against, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers. Like, he's just, there's levels to this, and I think he's just a little bit under. I think
he's a lot under.
Yeah, a lot under. I think the comparable would be in
he's
his,
like Vinny Testaverde without the stats. Like, I mean, that's really, we talk, I don't know, man. It's just, he's just not. Did someone Vinny Testaverde? I mean, this guy, Tony Romo, in all honesty, crumbled when the pressure got more intense too. Mm-hmm. He really did, which is interesting. That it's the opposite of what you see him do in the booth. The guy steps up, and he's so good at that. It's impressive. I love him there. But the guy's terrible. Now, I want to ask a question though. Like, do you guys think he's going to get castrated for this? When in fact he's not even the one. He's not proclaiming himself a Hall of Famer. Jerry Jones is, But I think it's going to lead to people looking at him and like pointing and saying, "Look at this fucking guy." But it's Jerry Jones writing a check that this guy's ass can't cash. I just don't. Jerry Jones is fucking annoying, man. I mean, in all honesty.
Well, he was crazy basically his whole career, and now that he's old and senile, the shit that's coming out of his mouth is even worse. I don't think there will be a much backlash on Tony Romo. Tony Romo had nothing to do with this statement. He's great in the booth.
It must make him feel uncomfortable, though.
Well, I'm sure.
I mean, come on. He's sitting back and he's like, he's having this guy.
Anybody that's ever worked with Jerry Jones is uncomfortable about it when it's all said and done. But yeah, if Romo ever makes the Hall of Fame, it'll be as a broadcaster, not as a quarterback.
If you're talking about guys that didn't win, I think one deserving guy would be in his age bracket would be kind of Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers put up a lot of run numbers for a lot longer. Mm-hmm. But if Phillip doesn't make it, then Tony's got no shot. If Phil makes it, then anything can happen, I guess.
He still has no shot.
I mean, Donovan McNabb to me isn't a Hall of Famer, but you can make the argument. I can't make the argument for Tony Romo. I just can't.
Right. So but you guys are kind of proving you guys are kind of.
I'm just
somewhat. You're kind of somewhat proving my point. Is like this discussion is not even happening if Jerry Jones isn't opening his fucking mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is what I mean. It's like it's like, hey man, my big brother's gonna come kick your ass, and never shows up. I mean, it's just I don't know. I'm not a fan of this sort of thing, and Jerry Jones should know better than to put these players out there like that, because Tony Romo's moved on from his playing career. He's already resigned himself to not going to the Hall of Fame. He knows that, right? He already knows that.
He's probably making more as a broadcaster.
Not making more, but he's more successful. He's more successful.
He's amazing as a broadcaster.
He's amazing. Like, he's smooth. I mean, people underestimate how hard it is to do it all. He's breaking down the game. He's articulate.
He's predicting plays. He's like,
he's
gonna run the ball here
before it happens, and it actually happens. It's like, damn, this guy. He knows.
Too bad he couldn't.
He would also be a great.
I was just going to say, too bad he couldn't do that while he was actually playing the game.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I think, but that's the whole thing of like batting coaches, right? Like hitting coaches in baseball. Some of the best ones batted 220.
Exactly.
But they're able to kind of break it down and teach. And that is something
that you can't see on the field. Actually, when you're playing at the moment, they're on the sideline, or in his case, in the booth, and he could actually see it.
He can see it all, and he's not. It's not boots on the ground trying to get this stuff done.
It's different when you're playing.
Yeah, he's watching from above. The game is fast, man. I mean, these are
monsters coming at you.
These are killers on cleats. I mean, and they're just coming at you, man. I mean, that's a different feel. But so I think we're all good there. So I appreciate that conversation. Now let's move on to who may be one of the quietest stars of baseball over the past couple of decades, right? Yadier Molina. And you don't hear a lot about him, and I think that's kind of a good thing because he's just like a steady Eddie. He gets the job done. This is his last year, right?
Next year, he
resigned next year. So next year will be
next year, and then next year he's done. He's not a guy that put up, I mean, intense offensive numbers, but he also wasn't a slouch at the plate. I mean, he wasn't like the pitcher up there batting ninth. I mean, this guy. He was able to put some life in the ball. But I'd love to hear your take on Yadier Molina and where he fits in. I mean, he's played with St. Louis his whole career, right? Mm-hmm. He came into the league back in 2004. This is his 18th season. So next year will be his 19th. You know, he's racked up 168 home runs. He's approaching 1,000 career RBIs. You know, what are you guys thinking? I mean, this is a guy who's been ultra consistent, and he's had a couple of years where he's top 5 in the MVP balloting in the National League. Yeah. I mean, what are your thoughts on him, and where do you see him? Where do you see him kind of panning out when his career is all said and done?
Well, to me, he's one of the quietest superstars you're ever going to find. Yachty was the rock for the Cardinals. To me, and I never saw obviously Stan Musial play. I kind of saw the end of Ozzie Smith's career. Yachty to me is Mr. Cardinal. And to be honest, Yachty is one of my all-time favorite players just because of what he meant to that position, what he meant for that team. And to me, playing on one team your whole career, that is a rare thing. And he was able to do it. The other factor is the way he called a game, and his defense was just second to none, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Yachty never threw to a surefire Cy Young candidate. He made those pitchers better. When you look at those Cardinals teams that won World Series or got to World Series, and you look at their pitching staff, yes, they had some really good pitchers. Yachty made the difference with a lot of those pitchers that they had. And you look at what he's doing even now at a more advanced age with an Adam Wainwright and how he's kind of turned his career around. Yachty has been the rock. He has been one of the most clutch players. And, you don't, as a catcher, it's not just about being clutch at the plate. It's about being clutch behind the plate. And Yachty has done it, to me, better than just about any catcher that I've ever seen. And I just, I'm glad he's coming back for another year because I definitely want to get to a game next season when the Cardinals come to town. Pay my respects to Yachty for a great career. And I'm just so, pleased to say I watched that guy play. I watched one of the all-time greats to do it in the big moments and the smaller moments. But to me, Yachty, absolutely well deserved on a terrific career, and he's going to go out with a nice salute year next year. It's great to hear.
Nice. How about you, Kyle? What are your thoughts on Yadier?
So I love Yadier Molina. Being a fellow Puerto Rican, this is something that this is one thing Puerto Ricans have always bred in baseball. We're catchers. You got Ivan Rodriguez, Yadier Molina. I mean, list
Vasquez from the Red Sox is Puerto Rican.
Exactly. All the Molina brothers, obviously. But would I put him in the upper echelons of all-time catchers? I wouldn't, with Johnny Bench, Ivan Rodriguez, Carlton Fisk, even a guy like Gary Carter. Guys like that probably wouldn't. But he's right there. Not taking away nothing from him. He's great. He's one of the greatest catchers of his generation, if not the greatest of his generation. And we always know that a catcher, if he can hit offensively, it's a plus. We really want our catchers to call the game, be a leader on the team. And that's something he's done his whole career. Like Neil was saying, there's guys on his pitching staff that were never really those upper echelon type of pitchers, and he just turned them into great pitchers. Defensively, his arm was insane. The back pick throws at first, off the knees to second. He's a great catcher, one of the best defensively, especially defensively, one of the best. 10 Gold Gloves.
Listen, I can't underestimate how important that stability behind the plate is.
19 years.
And you know what? Like, yeah, for 19 years, they haven't had to worry about, who's going to handle the pitching staff. You're never worried about him with pass balls or making stupid mistakes. I mean, people just don't realize how important that is to the game. I think about this. And it's not to make fun of the Yankees, Kyle, but think about Gary Sanchez. Think about Gary Sanchez, right? No, but think about it, right?
Yeah.
Like, he literally was a hole behind the plate. Like, you're literally throwing to the backstop.
Yeah.
Like, it was a joke. And the amount of runs that this man saved probably throughout his career is when you think about handling a pitching staff and being a defensive wizard. And just so you know, I do think that Ozzie Smith, even though he's a shortstop, is a good comparable. Yeah. They weren't the kind of guys that were gonna bash 50 home runs a year, but they were gonna save you in the field.
Exactly.
And they were also gonna be high energy people that were great leaders. Yeah, I mean, that's underestimated, man. The power of just having someone strong behind that plate. Jason, any thoughts on Yadier yourself?
I mean, defensively, yeah, he's a no doubt Hall of Famer. Offensively, that's where he lags behind a little bit. But I don't know if it's really going to matter. It just depends how much the baseball writers put in perspective all the intangibles and really weigh his defense against his actual offensive numbers. Offensively, he doesn't even rank in the top 30 of catchers, if you will. But how important is that to Hall of Fame ballot or Hall of Fame writers, especially when looking at the catcher position? Undoubtedly, he's Mr. Cardinal. He's going to go down as a Cardinal all-time great. Probably have his number retired as soon as it's eligible to. They're going to run out of numbers there in St. Louis. I mean, that outfield wall's filling up with numbers. But to me, he's not a Hall of Famer.
What?
Just because his offensive numbers are.
Nah,
I mean, Jason Kendall had better offensive numbers.
It doesn't matter because
Yadier
it doesn't.
Molina.
No, Yadier Molina is there's no doubt this guy's a Hall of Famer. Look, if there's two positions on the field where you can get away with being that light with the bat, and it's shortstop and it's catcher. Sometimes second base, but second base has had a lot more power in the past, right? Like shortstop never had power up until Nomar Garcia Park came around,
right?
Yeah. Like 20, an A-Rod
years ago, right?
That revolutionized that position. But there's two positions where you can get away with being light with the bat, and it's catcher and shortstop. And
I agree with that historically, but looking at today's game where the catchers are adding more to the lineup than they're probably taking away. And he plays in today's game. Now his best years were 5 to 10 years ago. I don't know. He'll get in the Hall of Fame. I have no doubt about it. But just offensively, he just doesn't stack up with the rest of the catchers that are there and that are going to be there.
Fair enough. I think listen. I do think it's tough when you're kind of evaluating the catcher position and its importance and how do you evaluate it in terms of transitioning to the Hall of Fame. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but there's some teams that would rather have him than someone that's gonna hit 30 home runs and drive in 100.
So the question, yeah, go ahead. Sorry,
go ahead, Jason. No,
I was just in today's game, where it's all about home run or bust. teams don't run. Teams barely even lead off anymore. I'm just wondering how important that catcher is to holding base runners on when base runners don't even really matter.
Fair argument.
Yeah.
I bet you. Fair argument, but I bet you if there was a statistic on numbers of times a catcher's been shaken off, I'm willing to bet Yadier Molina is near the top of the league in terms of that being the smallest number in the league. That's where his importance comes into play. Understanding think about this. He has to understand the hitter's tendencies. He has to understand the pitcher's strength. He has to connect those two things, and then he has to call a game.
And I understand about the base running today, but Yachty also did play in an era where they did run more, and he was controlling the running game of the other team. It's not his fault that players aren't taught to run anymore. I mean, there's so many things in today's game that could be different, but the fundamentals just go out the window. It's not on him that this is how it's played today. The other thing I think we need to take into consideration with Yachty, that man played at Old Busch Stadium for many years. And in the elements, you know how hot it gets in St. Louis and in the Old Busch Stadium. I mean, forget it. And that man was a rock behind the plate every game. New current Busch Stadium. It gets cold in the fall and in the early spring.
Dude, that place is freezing.
Yeah.
That place is freezing. That wind comes in out of that north, and it goes right into that dugout. It's cold.
The catchers too in general are like cornerbacks in football.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is statistically, you're never going to know exactly how great they are in terms of controlling the running game because they just don't run on you. Who would run on Ivan Rodriguez's arm? Like, even no matter the era. I think Ricky Henderson himself would have hesitated. I mean, that's just the way it is, right? And Johnny Bench too, right? Like, there's certain guys you just didn't run on, and that's just the way it was. Yeah. And I think Yadier, it's kind of hard to kind of figure out exactly what his impact was, but I will say his biggest impact on the game was handling of the pitching staff and understanding the game and understanding what the hitter was bringing to the plate and what the pitcher could do to offset that. It's incredible. And I think people lose that because chicks dig the home run.
Yeah. I think for me, his best comp would be Joe Mauer. So if you see Joe Mauer get in, then I think he's got to get in because they started the same year, 2004. Yadier.
Joe Mauer moved to first, though.
He didn't have to move. Yeah, he didn't have to move positions. Yeah. And he's played 5 years longer, pretty much. So
Joe Mauer, Joe Mauer offensively was twice the player in his prime that Yadier was.
Correct. So
I think Joe Mauer was a first baseman behind the plate.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying that's where you kind of have to watch the argument go. So two players started around the same time. One guy lasted longer, the other guy more gifted offensively, but have to switch positions. Yeah. Don't we can't discount the fact that he plays for the Cardinals. There's nowhere to hide him on DH, right? Yeah. Joe Mauer got to hide a lot on DH, got to take a lot more rest, right? Yeah. So it's like kind of where you.
Yeah. So listen,
you can't hide as a
and
NL
the Cardinals,
catcher.
The Cardinals
you can't.
Lineups where Yachty didn't have to be the man offensively because they had enough guys on those teams that could hit around.
Oh, dude, they had a ton.
He did his damage though, but they had lineups that listen. If Yachty, there were 3-4 other guys that were going to hit. So you didn't.
Well, we got to stop describing this guy as a bitch at the plate. He batted 280, right? I mean, his on base was right around 320, 300, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. He wasn't like some bitch at the plate. Like, I mean, he wasn't batting 170 for God's sakes. He was a better hitter than Ozzie Smith, for Christ's sakes. I mean, I think we gotta. I do think he's a Hall of Famer. I mean,
yes.
I think first ballot he goes in. That's what I think. There's few players that can achieve that with his offensive numbers, but he's one of them.
I agree.
Let's talk NBA. So this is what we all came for. Jason Mead is now slunched over because he's ready to pounce. So let's talk a little bit of NBA. So best player in the NBA right now. So there was some talk. I think it's going to fuel LeBron, but there was some talk that LeBron is no longer the best player in the NBA. I happen to agree with that statement, but I know some people here don't. Leon. And what we're going to do is I think I'd love to hear, we'll start with Leon because we've been ending with Leon. I want to pull Leon out of his little Canadian cave. So, Leon, who's the
Yes,
best
sir.
player in the NBA right now?
I think it's LeBron. I think LeBron means the most to his team. We've seen him leave teams that have gone to the finals previously and been lottery picks right after. I think he means the most to his team. I think he plays on the worst team out of the three guys that we're going to argue, and he means the most to the Lakers.
Wait, he plays on the worst team out of the three guys we're going to argue?
Mhm.
The Lakers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I mean, without him, he plays on the worst team. So, like, if you were to subtract,
They have
let's
Anthony
say
Davis.
KD.
If you take the best player off of any team, they're garbage. Come on, that's not an argument.
No, I don't think so. I
They
think the Nets,
still
the
have
Nets
Anthony
can,
Davis.
the Nets can survive. The Nets can survive without KD.
Oh, that's one team. Okay,
I
but
think
you
the
take
Bucks
Giannis
play
off
better.
Oh, if you
The
take
Bucks
Giannis off the
play
Bucks,
better.
they're horrible.
Oh, yeah. Giannis off the Bucks. That
Yeah.
team is literally like a
lottery
D
seed.
League.
They're
I'm just
lottery.
saying though, those
That's a
couple
G
games
League
that
team.
he missed, they played pretty damn
They'd
good.
have a hard
without him.
time beating Duke. No, but Leah. So, listen, LeBron is old.
He is.
There's a lot of miles on those tires, man.
He has a.
Yeah.
He has a smaller margin of error than the other guys because if he doesn't do it this year, those guys have more chances.
Listen. I despise LeBron. I can't stand
Me
him.
too, man. But
I'm not going to take away from the fact that, yes, he was at one point, maybe 2 years ago, the best player in the NBA. That ship has sailed. It's all about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, to me, in my opinion, is the best player in the NBA today. First of all, offensively, the dude is unstoppable.
he might be the best pure scorer the game's ever seen.
He's
Yeah.
7 foot, could put the ball on the floor, shoot from mid-range. He could shoot from three. He hits his free throws. Offensively, there's nothing you can do to stop him. Literally,
He can
nothing
shoot.
you can
He
do
can
to
shoot.
stop him.
Yep.
Yeah.
he can shoot.
When it
What
comes to
else?
defense, he's not the greatest defensive player, but to me,
He's a
I take-
liability. Just say,
Yeah,
just say
I'll
he's
take
a
it.
liability.
he's going to give me 30, 35 a night. I could deal with him not
He's
shutting
gonna
down.
he's gonna give up. He's gonna give some of it back up on the defensive end.
Yeah, he
Right,
will for
right.
sure.
He's the
But-
anti Yadier Molina.
Oh, for definitely. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not stopping nobody from doing anything. But
Right.
to me,
He
as
couldn't even stop a cab in New York City.
listen, those ain't easy to come by here no more.
All right.
But he to me, like I said, in my opinion, he's the best player right now. I know Giannis comes off winning the championship, and I know injuries have a part of it. That's part of sports. But I think most people know if that Brooklyn team is healthy, they don't stand. There's no way Milwaukee beats them. And obviously, it's not just because of Durant. They obviously have Harden and Kyrie, but Durant's the guy on that team. That's his team. To me, he's just the best player. He's nothing he can't do on the court.
Except play defense.
Play some defense.
Right.
But he's just that guy, man. He's the one. He's taking that mantle from LeBron, and he's the one right now.
So let me ask the question though. So LeBron plays defense.
When he wants to.
Yeah.
He's more of an
When-
orchestrator.
when-
He'll tell
Yeah,
you
he's
where to
more
go.
of a you go this way.
When his legs allow it. When his legs allow it. Yeah.
So you guys are kind of setting up. You guys are setting up Jason and Neil a little bit. So Jason and
Right.
Neil are on Team Giannis.
Right,
So
right.
Neil, let's start with you. What are your thoughts there?
Well,
Or
you know,
Jason,
at
it doesn't matter. Whoever you guys can talk in unison if you like.
I don't know. If that'll happen.
At first blush, when this was presented, you know, I thought LeBron because I'm thinking total body of work, even KD. But if we're saying if I have to pick a player right now going into the 2021-2022 season out of the full pool of players, you know, no teams involved, just pick a player. With all due respect to my guy JoJo, I got to go Giannis because Giannis to me has improved every year he's been in the league, and he still has room to improve. This man, what he did in the finals last year, I just was so impressed with. And also the fact that he does this without wanting to develop super teams. He doesn't call Anthony Davis to come help. He doesn't go to a team that's already made. He wants to win in Milwaukee. And the fact that he did it and did it on the biggest stage, and it was just amazing to me. The other fact is I want a total player. I want a complete player. Giannis plays defense. Giannis is a great shot blocker. He made a big difference in that series in the finals, blocking some shots, playing defense. He gets every rebound you can think of. And is he a great shooter? No, but he will improve. He made all those free throws in the championship clinching game. The man came up clutch in the biggest moment to come up clutch. And if I'm looking at right now, who do I want right now? I'm still going to take Giannis over LeBron, over KD, over Steph Curry, even over my guy JoJo, because not just of what he's going to do this season, but what he's going to do. What he's going to do to Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid. But what he's going to do going forward in the seasons to come, I still think it's Greek Freak, and I tip my hat to him.
Yeah, he's the youngest guy out of all of them, right?
That's cute.
But moving forward,
that's cute, Neil. That you think Embiid even belongs in this conversation.
Hey, he finished top 3 in MVP and Defensive Player of the Year last
year. I think
year.
Embiid's problem is health, right?
He needs to get off the cheeseburgers. He needs to start eating healthy.
If he had healthy knees, he would be closer to this conversation.
Yeah.
But he's not even in the same
boat. But unfortunately,
and if we were talking about the best players of all time, Leon, I would give you credit for LeBron, and he would definitely be in that argument. But we're talking. This was a poll by ESPN of NBA executives of who is the best player in the league right now. And with LeBron signing those Metamucil insure endorsements, he's past his prime. He's past his prime. He's on a great team. He's a leader of that team, no doubt. But he's past his prime. Other players have passed him. And KD, unbelievable scorer, all-time leading scorer in Olympic history. Probably the best scorer, pure scorer we have ever seen, maybe outside of MJ. Absolute fantastic shooter, but his defense, he's a swinging fence door, man. No, he just stands there. He watch the games. He purposely guards the least offensive player on the other team, purposely. But maybe it's not so he doesn't have to expend energy, whatever. But to me, right now, when we talk best player in the game, what I immediately thought of is everybody played in a one-on-one tournament, who would win? And
Kevin Durant.
That would be Giannis.
No way.
Giannis, dude.
Not a
Giannis, all Giannis has to do is stop Durant one time and he wins.
He can't do it though.
He'll block a shot, whatever. He's a defensive MVP or all defensive team for like the last 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
He gets like Neil was saying, gets all the rebounds. And he has exponentially improved his shooting throughout his career. Right now, he is without a doubt, the best player in the NBA.
I think there's doubt.
No, there's not. There's doubt because you're stuck in the past.
He was half a shoe size. KD foot tiny bit smaller.
If he was a 15 and a half, he's in the finals.
He's out of the playoffs.
Yeah, and he loses.
Yeah, but that doesn't. But listen, that doesn't change who's the best player in the NBA because I think when you're looking at it, right, like Giannis is a throwback in a couple of ways.
Mm-hmm.
He's a throwback in terms of his mentality. I'll start there. He's like the kind of guy that's like he's not looking. I don't know. He doesn't feel like he's arrogant. He feels like he's just someone he's just confident. He's go out there and play the game, but he's also got pride. And I mean, in a good way. I mean, like, I'm not going to build around me like these other guys are. I'm not going to be on the phone, recruiting players. I'm going to go focus on what I need to do to be the best version of myself and get the best of the players around me. That's Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is not calling Charles Barkley to fucking come through those doors and save his ass.
No,
he was going to fucking bury Charles Barkley. And he did.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yep.
He did. So my point is, I don't want to get on this Jordan train again. What I'm saying is Giannis, he's scoring 30 points a game, but he's impacting the defensive end of the floor in a much different way. He's one of those guys, and he's put on muscle. Like the guy's getting
he's
bigger
a freak.
and
His name
stronger.
His nickname bears him well. He is a freak.
Listen, Embiid is fucked because this guy's getting stronger. So
He's
like
got no cartilage left.
the
Any
one thing
cartilage play
the one
basketball.
thing Embiid had was muscle on this guy, and that's about to disappear too. So the guy's healthy, he's focused, he plays defense like nobody else. I mean, he's just I don't know, man. I have
He's
a
a
hard
man.
time.
You know, hey, and I see some comments too about like you need more rings. We need more Steph Curry changed the game.
Yeah.
No. That's not the conversation
That's
we're
exactly-
having.
Well, we're
We're
talking
having
about right now.
who is the best player in the NBA on August
into next
30th.
season. Yeah, going into next
Yes.
season.
So that's Now, if we want to have conversations like that, absolutely, I'll have a completely different argument. Steph Curry
I don't even know if this guy
is-
needs. And I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah.
Everyone says that Giannis has to develop an outside game. I don't even know if he does.
You might not even have to, honestly.
He will take. He
Why-
will just
why-
take it and shove it down your throat.
Why are we insisting that he conforms?
Yeah.
He is the most dominant player in the middle we've seen in since Shaq.
Since Shaq, yeah.
He's dangerous, man, because he's also fast. So like it's
Yes.
Very fast.
It's also long. You can't touch it.
He's long. He's
Dribble around
fast.
you.
He spins. He's like
jumps.
he's like a fucking top. Like you can't keep up with a guy, right? I'm watching him against the Celtics, and Jason Tatum is no slouch on the defensive end. Jason Tatum had no fucking shot, man. I mean, this guy is like spinning around him, and I've never seen anything like it. So why is there all this talk about this guy needs to develop a 3-point shot? Who the fuck cares? Like, if he continues to do this shit, who cares? Like, why are you telling this guy that he needs to develop a 3-point shot when he's dominating the way he is?
Think about
He can
this,
drive
Pierre.
on.
Focus on free throws, but that's it. I don't even fucking care if this guy shoots a 3 in his entire career. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Think about this though. He dominates a game without shooting threes.
That's what I'm saying. So why the fuck are we trying to add that to it? Why are you messing with it?
Right.
It-
I mean, he
but
can
he
drive
knows what
on anybody in the NBA right now. Nobody can stop him. Why would you give that up? I mean, there's probably somebody out there that can stop him. And if you put 5 guys on the floor, eventually somebody's going to stop him. But
Yeah.
one-on-one,
There's a recipe to beat him, though. Like he's failed multiple times in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's
There's a
failed
recipe to
multiple
beat him,
times,
and
but hold on. You're right, Leon. He has. But the thing is, he's getting better. So, like, think about how long it took Jordan to get to that level.
Mm-hmm.
This dude is
LeBron,
getting
all
bigger.
that.
He's getting stronger, and he's shedding defenders. Man, it's different. Like when he was little, and you can muscle him around. When I say little, man, I mean listen.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to say about. But I'm saying like he was built like he was twiggy. Now
He's totally raw. He's totally raw. When
he still had that college body, man. That college body. You know,
every year he improves. And that's again why I would say I'm taking him right now, because I know here's a guy that puts the work in every year to get better. He's at the top of his game right now, and he's going to get better. So
let me ask a question. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
For Kyle specifically. So if you take Giannis off of that team and you replace him with Durant, do they win a championship?
Yes.
Swap teams.
Yep.
They win a championship with Durant?
Yep. They still win a
If you
championship.
swap teams,
Yeah. What do you mean? Like, so just put KD on
If you
Milwaukee
swap
with the
teams.
same team, and
And you
then
put
obviously
Giannis
Giannis
on
on
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Yeah, with Kyrie and Durant.
we're not even
I mean,
talking
Kyrie
about.
and-
rings right now.
We're not even talking about that half-inch shoe size. That series is 4-0 Brooklyn. Period.
No.
Okay.
Nope. KD
Oh,
and
Durant.
I can't
Hey,
stand Durant
Pierre,
because I
Pierre.
wanted him with my Knicks. He did
I
us
don't
dirty.
think
That's
Pierre.
another point.
Next time we have an NBA discussion, make sure all the panelists watch the NBA, because obviously Kyle does not watch the NBA. If
Here's
you
the thing.
come
Here's the
with
thing
this
with KD
argument-
though.
Did you
KD
see
does
what-
have
you see
empty
what-
rings though. KD
you
does
see-
have empty rings though.
No, I don't even count those empty rings.
I think his rings with Golden State are invalid.
Empty?
But that's
Yeah.
empty
They're
rings.
not invalid, but it's not something
They're not
that
invalid.
no,
Get
they're not
outta here.
invalid, but it's not something you hang your hat on, right? Because we're talking about who's the best player in the NBA right now. I don't agree with you, Kyle. I don't think Milwaukee wins with Durant. I think
that if you put Durant, let's just say finals alone, if you swapped out Giannis for Durant in the finals, the Suns have rings
No.
right now.
Mhm.
He doesn't play defense.
But who's going to stop him scoring wise?
if he doesn't play defense, the
You don't
Suns
need
are
to
a great
play
offensive
defense.
team. The Suns can make up for that offense that he's going to give you.
Nah.
But Kyle, are you okay with saying the best player in the NBA is KD and he doesn't play defense?
I'm fine with that. Absolutely.
So you think his offensive game is so good?
I think his offensive game is so superior to anybody else's offensive game that, first of all, it's not like he's not Giannis on defense. I'm not even arguing that. He's not. But his offensive game,
He's not Neil on defense.
Well, that's
I mean, the guy has a
Hey.
7'2" wingspan. I mean,
he can play defense when he has to, though.
I'm
That's the
thinking.
thing.
you
With
can
the
put your
Rangers-
hands up and get a couple blocks.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like he doesn't. He doesn't. It's not like he's not. No, you know who doesn't try? James Harden. That fucker doesn't try to play defense. He's one that doesn't try to do anything. He's like he just go ahead, go by me. Go ahead.
Does Kyrie play defense either? I mean, that whole team.
No,
doesn't
he's
play
not- he's
defense.
not. Yeah,
I mean,
he's not
none of them play defense.
No.
That's why they get along, though.
Yeah, right. They found something they all enjoy not doing.
But that's
They found a common thread. We're not going to play defense, guys. Let's see how this works out.
you know,
for us.
that's their game plan. They're trying
Yeah.
to outscore you
Outscore,
200 to 180.
Yeah.
and maybe fair or not, but the only place KD won was Golden State with Steph and Clay.
Oh yeah,
I
but I
mean-
mean, I don't hold OKC.
He's
against
been in the
him.
league a long
He was playing with
time.
that nut Russell Westbrook. That
Well,
he didn't help him.
well,
Taking more shots than him.
That's the thing with KD that we never really seen him struggle. We never really he's got over catastrophic
You
injury
just
or
got
whatever.
something against
but-
KD.
No, I like KD. I'm just saying that we've never seen him drag a team to the finals by himself. That's all.
Call his rings empty rings.
They're
Oh, no,
pretty empty to
that-
me.
That team
Damn.
when he took
All
OKC.
all rings are empty. Yeah.
No, Leon, I get your
There's
point.
no
I get
donut
you-
hole.
Dude, Leon, I get your point though. Listen, I get your point, man. The guy hasn't he hasn't done it on his own. Like
Yeah.
when I say on his own, he hasn't been like
He played the
guy.
video game on easy mode. Okay, like that's what he is.
It's a team sport. That's why I don't. I mean, you got to take the whole team out of the argument. Period. If we're talking about the best player, and so
all right, Drew Holiday's my choice then.
All I know, LeBron need to get over
Who's
because
this
it ain't
guy?
him no more.
It isn't LeBron. I'm with
No.
you on that. Like
It is
I,
not LeBron.
Leon does not like that. He is looking down at you like
Dude,
No,
he
no.
was,
It
the
was
best player in
LeBron
the
years
NBA
ago.
for about
Listen,
To
I
me,
just
it's
don't
always
realize
LeBron
right now.
till anyone
hey,
says otherwise.
hold on, man. You got LeBron could very well like the dude is a physical freak of nature too. I
Sure.
mean,
Yeah.
you never
But
know,
it's
man.
coming. It's coming. I
Dude,
don't listen.
game on the line, fate of the universe, whatever. Game 7. There's not many players you would take
Kevin
over.
Durant.
Okay.
Kevin Durant. All
I would
day.
take Durant offensively over him. Yeah, I mean, I would.
That would take.
I-
Giannis
listen,
over both
I'm
of
still
them.
mentally
Giannis over
scarred
both
over like what LeBron has done to Toronto over the years.
Well,
They renamed it
yeah,
LeBron.
but listen, that's somewhat of the bias. You know, you're watching, you're remembering
I've
these
watched him
things
crush
that he
my
did to your
dreams.
team.
Yes.
I watched as a Celtics fan. I watched it too. They should have won. I forgot what fucking year it was. Now I shunned it out of my memory. They should have won. They should have
Everyone-
won. They had him on the
That was
ropes.
Sixers
That was 2
fan.
years ago.
They
The
had him on the
Hawks got me.
ropes. They had him on the ropes, and
Yeah.
he found a way. He's still a fucking pain in the ass, but we're watching his decline, and it's happening rapidly.
Yeah, you
But-
can see it with him. I mean, like in the past, even going maybe to his days with Cleveland, right? You knew when LeBron, and I'll give this to him, you know, when he was on the court, you knew that he can do it all and his team would win. I think LeBron's at that point that he can't do it all for his. I mean, even if how can I explain this?
Yeah.
You,
No,
I mean, you guys
he
kind of
won-
get what I'm trying to say, right?
He won that
Yeah.
Cleveland championship by himself.
Exactly.
I give you that.
I don't
And
No,
think
he
at that
did. No,
time-
he
and
did what
do that.
Giannis did last year.
And
yeah,
at that time, he
Yeah.
was the best player in
But
the
that,
NBA.
but that's when he was in his.
Period.
That's when he was in his prime.
exactly.
Yeah.
Now
He ain't doing
Yeah.
that now. He ain't doing that
No.
now.
Yeah.
But you know who can? You know who
Kevin
can?
Durant.
No, Giannis.
Giannis.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Giannis.
Yeah.
He just
Giannis-
did it, Kyle.
Yeah,
He just did it.
do it, but it don't matter. He got
Hey,
lucky.
hey, Kyle.
There's
Kyle.
Durant
that
hasn't done it
Tucker,
yet.
there's a
He
difference
got
maker.
lucky.
Hey, Kyle.
It's 15 and a
The
half.
best
50
points
points in the
player.
closeout game.
The best
Kevin Durant
offensive
had
player.
Points.
Hey,
Listen,
Kyle.
That's
Kyle.
not being
Hey,
lucky.
your
That's
guy,
being
your guy
good.
doesn't even know when to shoot a 3 and when to shoot a 2. So
it's not his fault. His
Dip
foot
it.
is a half size bigger than what he thought. He thought he was behind that line.
hey, the best player in the NBA would have been
Kevin
behind
Durant.
that line.
Kevin
Would
Durant.
have been behind that line.
I don't know,
It's a great
man.
argument,
you know,
fellas. It really
I'm
is.
I'm on Team Giannis. I think that,
Mhm.
to me, like, I think if I had to guess, right, he's probably going to score 33 a game this year. He's probably going to get 13 rebounds. He's probably going to block about 1.5 to 2 per game. He's going to be the same, but just bigger and stronger. And I don't want him to develop a 3-point shot. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't want him to be focused on anything other than doing what he's already doing, but just better. Like, I'm sick of hearing people prescribe to this whole thing of like, you've got to extend your game to the 3-point line. Fuck that. That's not what you need to do.
He doesn't need that. If he could just,
has
like
enough
you
shooters on
guys
that
were
team.
saying, if he could just become a little bit, a better free throw shooter and just a little bit more consistent with the mid-range shot, with the way he attacks the basket, he'll be fine. He don't need to shoot no 3-pointers.
But the way Giannis thinks, he's gonna add that to his game, and that's just gonna be another weapon that he'll have in his.
I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him behind. I don't want him behind the 3-point line. I want him mid-range to at the rack. That's where I want this guy.
Yeah, he won't use it. He'll still do that, and it'll just be in his back pocket. Like, hey, I can do this too.
Could you imagine if this guy became like a 75% free throw shooter? I mean,
that's
where the focus should be.
He was that in his earlier years.
Yeah, but he's not that now.
Yeah.
He missed
one in the
closeout game. I mean, when the stage was at the brightest, he only missed one free throw in that closeout game. It was just an amazing performance. And, I look at it again, and listen, we're in a good spot in the NBA. As an NBA fan, there's so many good young players in this league, so many good, stories. But to me, I mean, again, why I pick Giannis is because of what I know he's going to be now and what I know he's going to be in the future. He still has good years ahead of him, and he's still going to be at the top of his game. And he will improve on
if you're starting a franchise right now,
Giannis.
Which player are you taking? Okay, that's fair. No, it doesn't have to be the players we're talking about now. So you're saying Doncic. You're saying Giannis. How about you, Jason?
Giannis.
Oh, it'd be one of those two. But I would give the nod to Giannis to build around the middle and build out from there.
Leon, any player in the NBA you're starting the franchise right now, who is it?
He's going to say Siakam.
It might be Luka.
I mean,
21 years old.
It might be Luka.
Now, if we have this conversation in 5-6 years, we're going to be talking Doncic. But
starting today, I'm saying.
Yeah,
no. Yeah, I know. I meant best player in the NBA.
Oh yeah, no, he's not in that. He's close, but he's not in that conversation.
He's just outside of it. I mean,
the question was, who are you starting an NBA franchise?
Who are you starting an NBA franchise with right now? Right now,
and I'm saying Doncic is a great choice for that. And in 5 or 6 years, when we're having the best player in the NBA conversation again, Doncic will be in that conversation.
I love watching that guy play.
I mean, he's incredible.
He's a great player.
Yeah. I just think Giannis right now is a different sort of commodity.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Who keeps saying Steph Curry best player?
No, Steph Curry's not the best player, and I love Steph.
He doesn't play. He plays less defense than.
Well, Steph Curry. No, hold on, Steph Curry. He was also enabled to change the game. So, I think it goes both ways. I think he's an unbelievable, incredible shooter. Yeah. But I also think he was helped along the way in terms of people say the rules are changed. No, the rules changed before him. I mean, right?
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It enabled him to become. I'm not saying. Listen, I don't want to discredit him. I don't, because as much as I hate him and his fucking mouthpiece, I also know the thing that he's always fucking chewing on. Like, my biggest pet peeve with Steph Curry is that stupid fucking mouthpiece always hanging. If I were playing against him, I'd slap that out of his mouth. I don't want that saliva all over me.
We all got bad guys.
They should make a pop figure of his with the mouthpiece like coming out.
Oh my god, man! That doesn't irritate. That doesn't irritate any of you.
A lot of his success comes from Klay Thompson. Look at him without Klay. Not that good.
Sure.
This year, he had almost an MVP season.
You do need that other player.
The team success.
Everyone, can do it alone.
We're not talking team. We're not talking team.
So you're down, so you shoot a lot of threes. There's no one else to shoot on that team. It's
but
like
he's
Tony
making
Romo,
all
like
of
they're
them.
down in the
He's
fourth
making
quarter.
all of them.
Steph
That's the
Curry's a
difference.
little physical bitch, though. He's also like the guy you push around, man. He's like, all right, but like the rules don't allow it. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
To me,
I love Steph.
Steph's on the outside looking in on this conversation, though. He's not in this
Mhm.
conversation. Come on,
Sure.
man.
Sure.
Come on.
KD, baby.
Giannis.
KD, all right.
Get out of here, Brooklyn. Go away.
I'm not even a Brooklyn fan, but KD's he's special.
I don't. Kyle, you really love this fucking guy.
I love KD, man. I really
He's a
do.
special scorer, that's for sure.
I really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
antics he does on social media, I could do. Relax,
Yeah.
bro. No need for all of that. Calm down. But his game on the court, I love it.
Yeah, listen, this was fun, guys. I love these conversations. We're gonna have to come up with something crazy for next week.
I think it'll be a
And a Super Bowl winner.
NFL
Predict the
preview
Super
show.
Bowl winner.
Right,
NFL.
Oh, we're gonna
preview.
pick the Super Bowl winner. Okay.
Zach
Yeah.
Wilson.
So what are the parameters going to be?
Jesus,
What are
you
the
are such a
birds?
homer.
so guys?
Such a homer.
I
While
think
we're on-
we have to predict the division winners.
Yeah.
I'm not
And
division.
then-
I think conference winners. AFC and NFC championship. Who's winning?
do you know how long of a conversation is going to be, Leon? If we break down every fucking every team, like every
Yeah.
fucking.
I like
Come
in
on,
most
man.
divisions, like the AFC South and the NFC East don't fucking matter.
Yeah,
So
just the
let's
teams
like-
that we
yeah.
know are going to
Alright,
be
fair enough.
competitive.
So Super Bowl matchup and then MVP prediction.
No, we could do conference like AFC and NFC championship predictions,
Okay.
Yeah.
and then Super Bowl winner prediction,
Yep.
and then who we think is going to win the MVP in each league. In each, who's going to win the MVP?
Yeah.
Mhm. I think because there's a lot of rookie quarterbacks, we could predict rookie of the year too.
Zach
If
Wilson,
time
baby.
permits. There's a lot of rookie
Well, Zach
QBs in
Wilson
this.
isn't going to get.
Devontae Smith.
I don't
Zach,
want
what
to
do
even
you
talk
people?
about fucking
That's-
rookies.
that's rookie of the
No,
year.
fuck the rookies.
Nah, man, fuck those guys. I mean, that's just too much.
Rookies.
That's
mean-
too much of a fucking roll of the dice, man. I'd
Yeah,
rather.
rookies.
We're all a bunch of Mel Kipers now.
I just want to worship Tom Brady for an hour. So like, I'm,
Yeah.
Please,
Yeah, that's-
no.
We know that's
could
what's going to happen.
Do it by yourself.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it.
Well, we already
His man
got Pierre's pick to win the
He's
Super Bowl.
torturing
no.
me.
I'm not picking Brady again this year. No way.
Tortured my Jets enough.
I'm not picking. I'm not going to share who I'm picking, but I know who I'm picking.
right.
I haven't.
And I'll give you a little teaser. It's someone in the AFC, and it's not Kansas City.
I think I have an
Ooh,
Yeah,
idea.
then I know who it is.
I
Who do you
definitely
think? Who do you think it is, Kyle?
Josh Allen.
You might be on this on the list.
Maybe, I don't know. It could be.
I was going a little south of that. Baltimore.
Oh,
I like
Lamar.
Baltimore. I like Baltimore.
Lamar.
Yeah. I don't believe in Lamar.
Or could it be Derrick Henry?
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess we'll wait and see.
Someone said Cam said Browns all day. Y'all watch.
Oh, the Browns,
Cam.
please.
Cam.
The
Cam.
Browns, Cam. They're
Cam,
gonna let you
Cam.
down.
I love you, Cam, but stick to basketball.
Nah, Cam's a good dude, man.
He is.
So listen, let's wrap this up for the night, guys. This was fun. You know how much I love this. This is gonna be a staple, right? We might have to switch the days here and there, but for the most part, Monday night is gonna be a staple for us. We'll have some guests rolling in and out. I think next week we'll have who's gonna be on next week? You guys gonna be on?
I'm on
I'll be
vacation,
here
so
for
I
the
won't be
football
on.
show,
Oh, Kyle won't be on.
I mean, you were just going to talk about the Jets anyway, so you won't be missed.
J-E-T-S. It would not
So
been
we'll
much.
have
It would not been much to talk about. Don't worry.
Neil. You'll be
Fly,
on.
Eagles fly.
Neil, you'll be on.
Oh, absolutely.
And then we'll have
Football,
Justin.
absolutely.
We'll have Justin from Hat Club on.
Okay.
That should
Yeah,
be
he's a
interesting.
big Giants fan, so
Yeah,
won't
he
be in the
talks.
conversation at all.
He talks a lot of shit too. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, this is good, guys. Thanks for doing this, guys. I appreciate it. We covered 3 topics today: Yadier Molina, Tony Romo not being a Hall of Famer, and then finally, who's the best player in the NBA? And the consensus is Giannis. So everyone picked Giannis at the end of the day.
It was unanimous. Unanimous.
Not a chance. AD, baby. Slim
All right.
Reaper.
So with that, Leon, big fella, take us away.
Yeah. Make sure you guys drop a like on the video. Viewsfromthevault.com for your official merchandise. Podcast available on all major streaming platforms. For Jason, Leon, Pierre, Kyle, and Neil. Be out, guys. Stay